Everybody. Oops. Hey everybody, my name's Ed. Okay, so we're gonna do another random comics review or walkthrough or look at. This day today it's going to be Champions number 5 and then Champion number 6. And this is Rampage, the villain who could be you. Okay, so okay, so hang on. Okay, so I thought this one would be interesting. Okay, so first of all, we got here champions. The little character square here is Hercules. I don't know, maybe that's Johnny Ramita. And this cover, I believe, is Rich Buckler. But I thought it was interesting because it is, where he is, presenting the everyman of supervillains, the first menace born of the recession, Rampage. So this is, let's see if I can get it here, April 76. So it's probably on the stands either January January or February of 76. So, and it was probably, so that's before the 76 election. So that's before Jimmy Carter took over. And so this is Gerald Ford was the president. And yeah, and then thinking about that, it was probably written and drawn maybe a couple of months before then. So it was written and drawn in like 75 or whatever. So yeah, definitely Gerald Ford. Okay, so we got the writers Tony Isabella, artist is Don Heck and John Tartag, and then we've got John Costanza. I can't remember who Jay Cohen is, and then Marv Wolfman, editor. And the title is "The Economy is So Bad That." Okay, so we open up. We get basically, here's Warren Worthington III, who is, oh, wait a minute, we should go over who the characters are here. So the team is Hercules, Black Widow, Angel, Ghost Rider, and Iceman. So everybody's going to be in this story except for Ghost Rider, because he's too busy in his own comic. But here we have Warren Worthington III, who is getting news that he has inherited all of his parents' money and assets and everything, and he's control of everything. And then we cut to a scene where this dude who was an inventor, he had his own company, but his company is losing money. It's like, you've got to declare bankruptcy. So, so he's all upset and everything. So let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you plan for this blasted recession? It was tough enough before those idiots in Washington started running the economy into the ground. Why didn't you plan? And then he kind of storms out and and he's going to get even. Meanwhile, Natasha and her chauffeur Ivan, they're at this college hanging out with Hercules, who's playing football with the young guys or whatever, and they're all deciding about, what they're going to do about the team and should they stay or should they go, whatever. Blah, 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 behind the scenes stuff. Here we're back to scientist guy. Here's his big invention. It's some sort of exoskeleton that gives him like super strength and whatnot. And he basically has decided he is going to use it, maybe rob a couple of banks, pay off his bills or whatever, and and that'll be that. And then it'll get back to being a normal guy. Iceman just happens to be there. Now we get into the superhero fight stuff. The art is pretty decent here. I'm not too sure how tight Don Heck's pencilings were. It looks like the inker kind of made up for it in a little bit. Because a lot of times Don Heck's art looks kind of stiff. But I really like it here, though. Again, it really just depends on which comic you pick up, how good or bad his art is, and what type of inkers he has. Don Heck has been around for, like, at this point, he's a comic book veteran. But I think he was somebody who used to do other types of comics, like war comics and romance comics. Then he fell into Marvel Comics doing superheroes, and I think that was something he kind of struggled with. Like that wasn't maybe a natural fit for him or whatever. Okay, and here at the end of the fight, we get a really big splash page. If you step one step closer, I'll smash this fist right through the angel's skull. Continue next issue. Okay, sorry, excuse me. Okay, this time House of Ideas does it all. Another magnificent Marvel mag. And this time we got a Jack Kirby cover. And this time, though, the art is George Tuska and Vince Colita. Mad Dogs and Businessman. The recession form villain who could be you. All right, so we get back to, pick up the fight where it's left off. Cha-cha-cha. And, George Tuska is actually pretty neat. I think he's, again, sorry, excuse me, another guy who has a different background doing comic strips and stuff and different types of comics, but then got into Marvel, and he's trying to do that kind of dynamic Marvel style, but I think he was a lot better at it than somebody like Don Heck. Okay, anyway, my guy gets away, takes off the suit, kind of walks out. Oh, Ivan's gotten punched. Did we go over that? Yeah, Ivan's gotten kind of knocked out, and they have to call a hospital for him because Ivan's just a regular guy. Black Widow declares vengeance, but Warren tells her to calm down. We're the champions, not the Avengers. We're the people's heroes or whatever. All right. And they decide they're going to make the Black Widow, it's better at planning and strategy, so she's going to be the leader more or less. Okay, Rampage is back at it. Here's this guy who realizes who Rampage is. He's going to show you how he can use that knowledge for his own good. Anyway, he basically snitches on him, right? Here come the cops. All right. Rampage is trying to get away. The champions are like, oh, that's real bye. Let's get to it. Fighting with the cops. He's just saying, I don't want to hurt anybody. They're like, well, you should just give up. Okay, now we just have the whole fight or whatever. And just fun fight stuff. Hey, just give it up. Still trying to get out. He's getting smacked around. And he's like, forget it. I'm not going to prison. So he takes off his jetpack and it explodes. But Iceman has covered everybody in ice and shielded them. So everybody's still alive. They beat up, they stop the bad guy, so on and so forth. And here's that other dude who was trying to snitch on my guy and thought he could maybe make some money off it or whatever. This is an interesting thing here too, because Tony Isabella kind of gives some behind the scenes takes here. Basically just talking about how, we still have these leftover characters. We want to do another team book, and we wanted to make it like the people's heroes or whatever. Angel changed his costume because there were too many people between Black Widow, Ghost Rider, and him that would have had like the kind of dark blue black suits or whatever. Cha-cha-cha. Kind of explains how the first couple of issues were really going to be giant-sized champions. But they just tried to split them up into regular-sized issues. Ad for Marvel Con or whatever. Marvel Checklist, Black Goliath. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, Defenders, Power Man, Champs, X-Men 99, Incredible Hulk. All right. Okay, all right. So then that's pretty much it. I just thought it was pretty interesting because they really emphasize the fact that this character is, driven to do what he did because of, lack of money and the recession. All right, so that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. You guys all have a great day. Let's hit this button.